we were talking about labor stuff a little bit ago, so I guess we're going to continue on that track because Australians now have the right to disconnect after hours. We'll get into what that means here in a second. The BBC has an article on it that we're going to go ahead and take a look at. But first, let's go ahead and get a few pieces of fan art out of the way. This one says, Suris is a taco. And I need to go to the fan art section and hope to God, of course, I was going to hope that the fan art section would actually be in the right area for me to see who did this one. But of course, it's not because Discord is broken. This one is from Seffi. Said, okay, sadly, it's not the best, but I am really trying with MS Paint. I appreciate it, Seffi. Suris Taco is a thing. And of course, Riddle of Lightning comes in with Taco Time. Because why would there not be two Suris Tacos? As always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, let's go ahead and get into today's article. And as for why I'm looking at the other screen constantly, it's because I wanted to go ahead and have that ready. See, Australians have the right to disconnect after hours. A right to disconnect rule has come into effect in Australia, offering relief to people who feel forced to take calls or read messages from employers after they finish their day's work. The new law allows employees to ignore communications after hours if they choose to, without fear of being punished by their bosses. So, as an example, let's say that you get off of your 8-hour shift, or more likely a 10-hour shift at work, and your boss sends you a message, hey, where did you put the mustard? Or, hey, we can't find this thing. You're able to ignore them now. You're able to not have to deal with that fact. You're not on the clock, so you don't have to respond to them. That's what that means. Sebi says, wait, is that not natural? No. No, in America right now, you can just get fired for not doing your shit even when off the clock. Like, that's a thing that they're allowed to do. They're able to go, like, yeah, this employee was non-communicative and was not helping, not being a team player. Like, that's just all shit they're able to do. Sylvie Snow says this is good, right? Yes, this is. This is a very good thing. A survey published last year estimated that Australians worked an average of 281 hours of unpaid overtime annually. More than 20 countries, mainly in Europe and Latin America, have similar rules. The law does not ban employers from contacting workers after hours. Instead, it gives staff the right to not reply unless their refusal is deemed unreasonable. Under the rules, the employers and employees should try to resolve disputes among themselves. If that is unsuccessful, if they are unsuccessful in finding a resolution, Australia's Fair Work Commission can step in. The FWC, or Fair Work Commission, can then order the employer to stop contacting the employee after hours. So if your boss is constantly harassing you when you get off of work, at least in Australia, there's a law in place now to say that that's not okay. That's not okay. Tappert says, I mean, I'm hourly. I will ignore them anyway or put in for 30 minutes of overtime every time they contact me. So there's lots of options you can take in regards to this, but I think having an actual, like, superseding legal protection is just a very good thing, honestly. A failure to comply with FWC orders can result in fines of up to 19,000 Australian dollars, or 12,000 United States dollars. Jesus Christ. And $94,000 for a company that does it. Organizations representing workers have welcomed the move. They said it will empower workers to refuse unreasonable out-of-hours work contact, and enable greater work-life balance. A workplace expert told BBC News that the new rule would also help employers, saying any organization that has the staff who have better rest and who have better work-life balance are going to be less likely to have sick days, less likely to leave the organization. Anything that benefits the employees has benefits for the employers as well. This kind of goes back to the gig economy episode that I recorded just a little bit ago. Whether or not that comes out first or second, I don't know. But in that video, I pointed out that one of the things that the gig economy is able to get you with is a lot of invisible expenses. And if you're working in the gig economy, you also have this thing called a blurring of the line between work and life. Like for me as a content creator, right? If I'm playing Magic the Gathering, am I playing that for fun or am I playing that for work? Well, I have a Magic channel that I make money off of, so maybe I'm playing it for work, maybe I'm playing it for fun. It's hard to tell. If I'm talking about politics with my friends, am I doing that to garner information for work or am I doing that for fun? I don't fucking know. I don't know where that line begins and ends, and I've stopped knowing where that line begins and ends a long time ago. Like, it's good for people to have a work-life balance where they can have one mode they tune into for work, where they do their best there, and then they get to turn that off and deactivate and go rest and relax and have fun. That would be great if everybody had that option. So I think it's actually really important that we have laws like this. Advertising industry worker Rachel Abdelner told Reuters. We spend much of our time connected to our phones, connected to our emails all day, and I think it's really hard to switch off as it is. That's true. If I'm sitting there playing Magic at the card shop, I might be opening up my phone and going into my YouTube Studio app and just checking it every now and again, and at that point, I'm working. At that point, I don't even realize I'm working, but I'm certainly working, and I've need to get in a better habit of not doing that shit. I said, others, however, do not feel the new rules will make much of a difference to them. They said, I think it's an excellent idea. I hope it catches on, but I doubt it'll catch on in our industry. To tell the truth, though, said David Brennan, a worker in the financial industry, said, we're well paid, we're expected to deliver, and we feel we have to deliver 24 hours a day. Well, the fact that you feel like you have to deliver 24 hours a day and not just the hours that you're working is a huge, huge issue. Paige says Reuters is pronounced Reuters. Okay, cool. And I will continue to pronounce it Reuters so that people in the comment section will engage by telling me how to pronounce it correctly, because that is actually a form of YouTube manipulation that everybody engages in. Anyways, we're just going to keep finding different ways to mispronounce Reuters. Riddle Lightning says, not working 25 hours a day. Millennials are so lazy. So, this is honestly a good thing. And I want to see more of this happen in the States. I would like to see more protections like this for employees in the States, because work-life balance is already really hard for people to get, especially since there's this idea, this preconception in the United States that every single moment of your day, every single moment that you are alive needs to be monetized. And it's starting to get to the point where that's actually a full-on necessity for a lot of people, because, let's be honest, for most people, we don't have enough money to actually just have the downtime that we want. I mean, here I am on a Saturday, which is normally supposed to be my day off that I give myself so that I can relax and rest, and I'm supposed to be able to look forward to this day to go hang out with my friends and just have time for myself. And here I am working on the Saturday. And that's just how life is for most people in general. So, it's frustrating as hell. Riddle Lightning says, it's kind of changed. I don't think it will happen until we do like a nationwide strike. And unfortunately, because we have such anti-union propaganda, it's hard to get a nationwide strike going in the United States. It's very, very difficult. For me, I don't have experience building a union. I have experience being propagandized against a union. I can tell you the nuts and bolts of how you would try to get one set up, but in terms of like actually getting a nationwide strike to work, good luck with that. America is so atomized that people will just go, I can't afford that, and keep doing their thing. The thing about strikes work when there is an organization that is backing the strike, when there is a union backing the strike. Because a union is able to provide wages and benefits to the employees who are going on strike so that they are able to participate in a strike. The union has to be there to fund the strike. But if you are not part of a union and you just go on strike, you just stop paying your bills. And then suddenly your bills start racking up. And then now, any gains you might have gotten in the industry are circumvented by the amount of bills you now have to pay that you have, or the fucking foreclosure on your house that has happened. Like, most people can't do that because we don't have unions for most people. That's one of the reasons why corporations are so hell-bent on making sure that none of them are unionized. Because if corporations are not unionized, if there is no apparatus backing the workers within the organizations that pay them their money, then those workers are always beholden to that apparatus. They're never able to break away from that apparatus for any amount of time because no longer suckling off that teat causes them to lose their house, lose their car, lose their medical insurance. It causes them to lose all of that stuff. Union protections are good at stopping all of that. Corporations want to make the most profit and spend the least amount of money. So not having a union means it's easier for them to undercut, underpay, and steal your time. They can do this wage theft shit where they are getting your time for free by calling you and getting information about what happened at work when it's not fucking meeting time, you're not on the clock. They get to do that shit, and it's hard for you to get recompense because you don't have union representation. So you can't do a United States level strike. You can't do a mass worker strike. You can't do those things and do that kind of lobbying because people don't have the representation to survive doing it. And that's by design. Sakura says that they do wage theft by telling people to fudge their timesheets. So I've never worked somewhere that did... Never mind. I say I never worked somewhere that did that. But when I was working at Hardee's, it was expected that after you clocked out, you clocked out on time, and then you continued working for a little bit if shit needed to happen. Like, you would clock out, and then they'd go, oh, there's this thing that you need to find that we accidentally threw in the dumpsters. So go to the dumpster and dig through the big dumpster that you have to take a ladder to get up to the top of to find the thing. And that might happen off the clock. I had to do that shit. I've had to break down boxes and do all kinds of like end of shift cleanup after clocking out. And they do the whole, hey, we're all part of a family here. We're all part of a familial unit. It's okay. We all do it. We all do this little bit of extra work. We want to make sure that life's better for all of us. So the best way to do it is to give a little. And everybody at the bottom ground level gives a little. And then the employers are the only ones that actually make any money off of that. It's fucking stupid. Eric Knox says, I had one job that made me walk out because of expectations on my time. It was CenturyLink and ISP. I was expected to take calls on my lunch break unpaid and make a set number of sales per hour. When I had originally interviewed for a retention position, Jesus Christ. Sucker says, my dad worked for the post office. He was expected to open, stay there until closing time. And the high-ups said, don't do that level of overtime. So to avoid getting in trouble with the higher-ups, my dad fudged his timesheets. That shit's gross. That shit is gross. Steffi says pyramid scheme. No, that's not what a pyramid scheme is. A lot of the same mechanics involved, but no, not a pyramid scheme. That said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think this is a win. I think this is a W. I want to see more of this in the United States. Please. I would greatly appreciate more of that. Also, Steffi says, huh? Okay, so a pyramid scheme is a fraudulent system based on recruiting an ever-increasing number of investors. So with a pyramid scheme, is you have to have somebody knocking at your door going, hey, do you want to start your own business? Now you need some people working under you. Are you ready to help them start their own business too? Now that they're going to have people working under them, they need people to start their own businesses as well. We're all going to start our own businesses together. Hi, hon. Like, a pyramid scheme functions by recruiting a lot of people and constantly getting the lower parts of the pyramid thicker and thicker so that bits of money trickle from the bottom part of the pyramid up. That's how a pyramid scheme works. Hi, honey. What we got here? Bike I assembled. The bike you assembled? You built? I built. You saved a lot of money doing it that way. It was like $100 for the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's it feel?
That's great. Sit on it.
Sit on it?
Yeah.
Okay, give me just a second. Before I sit on the bike, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and insert end of video tagline here. Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that. Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.